Good morning.
Morning.
We are from Mahindra and Mahindra Automotive Division, Kandivali plant. At the outset, I am thankful to IMTMA for giving us the opportunity to present our case study on reducing specific carbon footprint using Waste to Wealth, TPM and Industry 4.0 in energy management area. I am Sandeep Priyolkar and my colleague Hemant Joshi will be taking you through the case study. This is our cross-functional team from production, maintenance to shape up the project. Mahindra Auto business is the core business which contributes to about 39% of revenue. We have got 6 plants, 4 plants in Maharashtra, 2 plants outside Maharashtra. This project started in April 2018 and completed in October 2018. The target was to reduce the specific carbon footprint. That was a promise 2019. What is promise 2019? I will come back on this. There was a challenge to reduce dependency on the fossil fuel. And we have to create an affordable business model to implement this particular project. There were challenges during conceptualization. No benchmark was available. Right kind of vendor is required to implement this particular project. And there was no chance of error because this is to be implemented on the A-rank machine. Challenge during execution, peak production demand, and there is very low window for the execution for us. Cramped space in the compressor house to put the hardware, safety concerns, lot of things to be done at height, and integration with the conventional washing machines using Industry 4.0. That was a challenge. The results were, it was a morale boosting project for us, entire Mahindra team. It was the first time right. We could able to deliver promise 2019 with this particular project, along with other projects. And there is a huge scope for the horizontal deployment across sector, across industry. Climate change is a global challenge. We talk every day about the climate change, increasing percentage of carbon in the atmosphere, which is leading to global warming. It resulted into a severe weather pattern and threat to the entire ecosystem. For example, climate change will have a toll on food security, energy and water, health, and further a cascading effect on the other sustainable development goal. During Paris Convention, our country's leadership has announced that we will reduce emission by 33 to 35% over 2005 level, and 40% of energy will be from non-fossil fuel. Our company's leadership has aligned to this particular vision. He quoted in UN that we have contributed to the problem and it is up to us to mitigate it. This is Mahindra's sustainability framework, giving back more than what we take. It is on building enduring business by rejuvenating the environment. It revolves around people, planet, and profit. And carbon neutrality is one of the focus area, for which we have taken EP100 programs of doubling the energy productivity. Internal carbon pricing is decided as $10 per ton of CO2. That means our scope 1 and scope 2 emissions are say 100 tons, then we will get a budget of $1,000 for mitigating it. And this is our roadmap about EP100 program, internal carbon pricing, thrust on renewable energy, tree plantation, science-based target, and ultimately to achieve carbon neutrality by 2040. Our dream is to become top 10 global automotive brand, for which every 3 years we are taking a milestone target. We call it a promise. So promise 2010, 2013, 2016, and 2019 cycles are over. In the recently concluded 2019 cycle, we had taken a target to reduce specific carbon footprint by 15% over FY16. Our plant is bit of primitive plant, and of late we have started upgrading it. So lot of assets are added for quality, and it has increased the connected load. But we have taken a target of 15% specific carbon footprint reduction in line with Mahindra Rise philosophy of accepting no limit, alternative thinking, and driving positive change. We are the TPM company. During our consistency award journey, we have taken sustainability pillar as a separate pillar, for which we have taken a KPI of reducing the carbon footprint. Let us understand what is scope 1 and scope 2 emission, which is under our purview. So inside the plant boundary, there are many machines, offices, HVAC systems. Whatever is burnt inside the plant, like LPG, PNG or diesel, they are termed as a scope 1 emission. Whatever purchased electricity is there, it is a scope 2 emission. And each of this commodity has got a carbon potential attached with it. We have got about 11%, which is scope 1 emission, and about 89% scope 2 emission. The easiest way to reduce the carbon footprint is to invest in the renewable energy. But it requires a capital investment, and of late there are problems with renewable energy because of the stability of the grid is one of the issues, and a lot of stringent amendments are coming on while using the renewable energy. Let us see the impact of switching off the fuels. For example, I require 10,000 kilocalories per hour of energy. I can use about 12 units of electricity, which comes out to be around 9.6 kg of CO2. Ideally speaking, if I switch over to PNG, I require only 1.2 SCM of PNG. But considering other losses, that a lot of energy is wasted through flue gases, in taking 40% efficiency, it comes out to be around 25% less than whatever electrical carbon I am emitting. But there are safety and other concerns which are associated with it. And nevertheless, both the commodities, they fall in the category of fossil fuel. For reducing carbon footprint, we are taking various ideas. They are bucketed into 4 categories, like energy efficiency appliances, process improvement by internal team, like low temperature degreasing, cold box, fixture modification, sharing of the resources, and so on. Renewable energy and waste to wealth. One of the dominant one is the waste heat recovery. And today I'm going to talk about this issue. We have got about 34% of energy which is used for heating. The waste heat recovery per se subject is not new to us. In the past, we had put the recuperators on the heat treatment furnaces to recover the heat and use for the preheater washer. Similarly, we have recovered the heat from the heat of compression of refrigerant and used for the washing machine solution. We have even done the flue gases which are going from the chimney. With the heat pipe technology, we could able to extract the heat and use for heating the ambient air for the burners. So what is the preamble for waste heat recovery? It requires the application of heat. So we have identified about 19 washing machines where fossil fuel based heating is done. Out of which around 8 machines, they were in cluster. Not very close to each other, but they were in cluster. Now we wanted to find out what is the source of it. So we explored, we hunted where we can get the waste heat. One option was heat recovery from the flue gases of the heat treatment furnace, which is already done. Can we extract heat from the flue gases of the hot water generators? That was not an adequate heat. So we want to give a try to extract the heat from the lubrication oil of the nearby compressors. We never tried this concept, but we want to give it a try. Let us understand how the compressor circuit works. As you have seen in the earlier presentation, about 70 to 80% of the input energy is going as a waste heat. In a screw compressor, lubricated screw compressor, air and oil mixture is pressed, and what comes out is the heated oil and air mixture. There is a heat available in this particular oil at 80 to 100 degrees Celsius. In aerodynamic parlance, it is a low-grade heat, but it is available in abundance. So can we use that particular heat and convert it into useful energy? That is the question. So this is our compressor house. We have got two streams of compressed air systems, 75 psi and 95 psi, and two sets of compressors. So we identified two baseload compressors, which are two-stage lubricated one with FAD 2179 CFM and with 315 kilowatt motor. This is the air oil circuit of the compressor. At the discharge end, air and oil is compressed and sent at 95 degrees. There is an air oil separator where air is separated out and the oil returns back through water-cooled oil cooler. It gets cooled and recycled again. The flow rate is about 280 to 300 liters per minute. There were risks associated with this project. It is a 12-year-old compressor, so internal deterioration may be there. Base load compressor, so any disturbance can lead to a stoppage of the entire plant. And space constraint in the compressor house, because we were not knowing how much hardware is required, and we want to make it as an affordable model. So how much heat is there in the oil? So we calculated, rough calculation was done, and we found that, yes, whatever requirement is there, more than that, the heat is available in the lubrication oil. So we hunted various options. Refurbishment of the existing compressor by OEM, there was a regret. Can we invest in the new compressor with heat recovery system? Because nowadays the compressor can come with the optional heat recovery system. The issue was there was no requirement of an additional compressor. So it does not make the business sense. So we decided to go on our own through local vendor. We approached the local vendor who has done previously our heat recovery system, but he is unable to integrate it with Industry 4.0. That was the issue. And we wanted one person to carry out the whole job. So we made the concept and tried to sell it to the vendor. Like primary heat recovery, by which the hot oil from the compressor, the heat is recovered through circulating water. There will be a secondary heat recovery at the washing machine end, which can pass this particular heat to the washing machine solution. The uniqueness is the compressor side is isolated from the equipment side. So we are taking care of the compressor. So we have taken inputs from the user department. We had done FMEA. We have taken inputs from HERA, and we started building up the project block by block, like compressor oil circuit, then oil heat recovery, water distribution system, washing fluid heating system, and the washing fluid circuit. We have taken even the vendor on board to understand, take his input, put the NRVs, valves to make the project viable, safer, at affordable price. This is the project plan in place. This is the layout of the project. From compressor house, you can see about 800 running meter plus insulated overhead lines were laid. And this is the actual implementation of the project. We have taken both the base load compressor, but at one time only one compressor is running. We can isolate one compressor. There is a heat exchanger which recovers the heat from the oil. There is an expansion tank to take care of the circulating water. And on the equipment side, you can see the piping, a small skid on which the heat exchanger and the pumps are put. There is a control panel which is attached to the equipment so that localized readings can be taken. It was a first time right project. Now what are the safety features? While designing, we have put double walled heat exchanger at the compressor house so as to avoid intermixing of the oil with the circulating water. And there is a visual indication if any leakages are there. We have put the pressurized expansion tank so as to take care of thermal expansion of the fluid and acts as a water buffer. The diverter wall on the equipment side, we don't want overheating of the solution, and at particular temperature, set temperature, the diverter wall cuts off the heat exchanger circuit at the equipment side. So thereby we ensured the safety. Other challenges were laying of the pipeline 100 meters, 800 meters at a height. So we got pre-insulated pipes with flange end and bolted together. So this optimized the time for execution. So accommodating heat exchanger, we have multi-pass heat exchanger, plate type heat exchanger. Thereby we could able to reduce the footprint of the heat exchanger. Similarly, we have incorporated valves and other NRVs so as to make this design reversible for ease of maintainability and operability. Simply execution of this project is not the success of the project. Effective working is the key to the success. So we leveraged Industry 4.0 for the same. What is Industry 4.0? To achieve our bhag, to become a top 10 global and a top 10 global automotive brand, we aligned our utility process to our Industry 4.0. It works on the principle of interoperability, where the machine, devices, sensor, and they continuously gather data, communicate with each other via Internet of People. What does that mean? Faster data acquisition, faster data collection, faster data processing, faster data communication to get the intended result. So let us come back to the heat recovery system per se. Now green dots show that everything is working fine. Now suddenly a filter on one of the machine gets choked up. The circulating solution the flow of the circulating solution will reduce. There will be a temperature drop. The alarm will go through a cloud-based server, through email or through SMS to the concerned people to take appropriate action immediately. So we have put sensors for oil water temperature, washing machine temperature, air compressor and washing machine energy data, and air compressor vibrations and pressure. So these are some of the dashboard of real time. And let us look at the live data, real time data. This is on the compressor side, 3700 kilowatt hour in last. You can see the heat recovery. So this is the compressor data. You can see the heat recovery about 2500 kilowatt hour in last 24 hours. You can see the washing machine side dashboard. This is the heat exchanger. Inlet, outlet, oil temperature, water temperature, energy data of the compressor on the left side and heat recovery on the right side. The vibrations, motor temperature. We have put additional pressure sensors and temperature sensors on the compressor because they are not even connected with heat recovery, but we have put them so that we can ensure the reliability of the compressor. Because earlier we have faced some breakdowns on the motors, so we don't want it to happen. So we have placed these sensors to get the real-time data so as to build in reliability in the whole system. We have invited OEM's representative to look at our innovation, and this is their reply. They have seen they are very much satisfied. The dealer who has supplied this particular compressor has surprised us. He said, this is the first time installation of waste heat recovery on the Solaire compressor in India. And there is a scope for the horizontal deployment across all industries. Let us see what internal user have to say.
Waste heat which was coming out from our compressors has been now fruitfully utilized, and we are getting around 200 kilowatt of heat from the compressors, and the temperature of that water is around 76 degrees centigrade. That water travels from the compressor to around 500 meters, 600 meters, and then which gives out the heat to our washing machines, and the effectivity of washing machines has also improved, plus the low maintenance cost, the the heat which we are getting. Each machine generally has around 5 lakh worth of cost which we used to incur. Now that has gone into zero.
So apart from spare costs, let us see now the balance sheet. The entire project cost with taxes is about 51 lakhs. One-time investment, we have saved PNG, we have saved electricity. The overall cost saving is about 63 lakhs, 63.82 to be precise. Simple payback is 9.6. This single project has given us a saving of 513 tons per annum. This first of its kind project implemented in Mahindra Group, huge potential is there for horizontal deployment in all sector plants and across industries. This project, along with other projects, has helped us in delivering Promise 2019. We have made the MP sheet, that is maintenance prevention sheet, and given it shared with DM pillar, that is development management pillar, for the future compressor requirement, if any. And we have applied for the patent idea for the flexibility and other uniqueness which we have put into this project. In 2019, we got CII National Awards, SEAM Awards, and for this particular project, we have won the first prize in 34th TPM Kaizen Conference for the breakthrough presentation, breakthrough Kaizen, as well as first prize at SOPEP. We won also the internal awards. Moving further, we have collaborated with ESL for various projects like inverter-based AC, IE3, IE4 motors, LED lightings, and Trigen, which is one of the unique project. It will be a gas-based engine which will be generating about 705 units of electricity. The engine jacket cooling water will be used for heating the washing machine solution. About 9 washing machines are identified. The flue gases will be used in the VAM circuit, thereby chilling the water, and we are supplying the cool air to the 5 assembly cabins as a space cooling. So there is lot of commercial benefits are there, apart from reducing a carbon footprint to an extent of 2,300 tons per annum. These are some capex investment. They are on annual, like windmill, HVLS fan, process improvement, upgradation of biogas plant. Our quest continues with new challenges. Thank you.